1, 2, 3, go. 20. Wow. Oh my God. This thing is awesome. All right, guys, as you can see, we got so many electric bikes in this garage just looking at it, but there's one bike in particular that I've been wanting to show you. It's from Electric Bike Company. It's the Model X, but it is not a stock Model X. On their website, you get to customize anything you want. And I changed the color, the forks, the seat, everything. And I want to show it to you real quick. It's right over here. All right, now that you guys got a closer look at the bike, let's actually come in here and get a very close look at all the components that's on this. Now we have a rear 500 watt motor. That's what it's rated for. It does a little bit over that. You got hydraulic brakes in the back. We got some custom red rims with black spokes. We also got fenders on this bike, which we color match the fenders. We got rear brake lights right here. And we got a bike rack that also has an integrated brake light right in the back. We have suspension in the seat post, which is gonna help for comfort. And we have the electric bike big fat seat on here. These are also pretty comfortable when riding. You got your standard kickstand with a little bit of carbon fiber at the bottom, which is a little nice touch. Then you got some standard pedals over here with some rubber grips on both ends. They're pretty comfortable. You're not gonna be going too fast, so they should be all right. Now moving on to the battery, it's not like all the electric bike companies that they have it integrated into the bottom of the frame. This one's external. You could use a key to detach it if you want to. The cool thing about having this external, even though it doesn't really match the bike like some of the other ones that look cleaner, you could upgrade this. There's a bunch of other companies that make 48 volt batteries for this, because right now this is a 12 amp hour. So if you wanted to upgrade it to a 16 or 18, there are companies that make them, but do it at your own risk. Electric Bike Company is not recommending that. We opted to get the front basket, and I did it in all black just to have a cleaner look. And if you do get the basket, it will come with this nice little headlight, which is brighter than the stock one that comes on the bike. So it is a nice feature if you want the basket. This bike normally comes with rigid forks. We got suspension forks put on this bike just because some of the roads that I ride on are really bumpy, and I normally use my bikes for work, so this is gonna be perfect. And if you might have some back problems too, you might wanna think about adding front suspension to the bike just to make it more comfortable if you're gonna plan on riding this bike all the time. Now this is how you're gonna look at the bike when you're riding it, and on this side you have some very nice grips, and you got a throttle on this side, you have your on button on this side, you have your up and down power, which we'll get into that when we start riding. You got hydraulic brakes on this side. They feel so nice. The cable management on this bike is insane. And then you're gonna see that we have an extra throttle on this side with an extra display, and that is because on their website they give you an option to add a turbo motor on this bike. Normally it only comes with one motor in the back. We have an additional 500 watt motor in the front with a peak of about 1,000 watts. Anyways, this thing, I took it up and down the street, is insane. We'll definitely show you when we do the riding test, but that's why we have two different throttles. So one throttle controls the rear and the other one controls the front. Think about it this way. There's two controllers and two batteries and two motors, and each throttle uses one controller and one battery. Oh, before I forget to tell you, this bike was pretty much assembled when I got it. That's why it looks the way it is. It's already together. I didn't show none of the unboxing process, but let me tell you the two things you need to tighten down to get this bike on the road when it comes in if you order one. There's gonna be one screw down in here, one screw right here. Those are the only two that are loose, and then come over here to the handlebars and you got 4 bolts right here. That's it. Your bike is literally gonna come 100% looking like this. The bars are just gonna be turned to the side, and that's all you have to do is straighten it out, line it up to the front, and tighten the bolts down. You're good to go. Now, when you order your electric bike, it does come with a few accessories, and I wanna show you the stuff that it comes with in the box. The first and most important thing that comes with your electric bike is the charger. Pop it up. It's about a hand size. That's how big the charger is. It's pretty lightweight, and it is a 4 amp charger. And then you get this bag right here. It's a quick start guide, owner's manual, all that stuff. And then this little black bag inside, it comes with a bunch of tools, wire snippers, Allen keys, everything you need to basically put this bike together if you do not have tools at your house. So it's very nice to keep, especially in your backpack when you're riding. And now the one thing I was very excited about, you can get an anti-theft alarm system from the company if you pay extra for it. And it comes with a set of keys and a little keychain, and it's pretty cool. I don't want to take these out, but I'll hit the unlock button. And it's freaking loud, dude. And you can lock it, unlock it. And then when someone messes with your bike and moves it, it will alarm. At first, it won't be very loud, and then when they bump it again, it will just go off, and it's insanely loud. Highly recommend that upgrade if you live in a bad area and you gotta put your bike on places, even if you put a lock on it. It's just nice to have some extra security. Plus, I think the keys are pretty cool just to have. But all right, guys, it's that time. We gotta get on the bike and ride it, because you know that's how I do my reviews. So we're gonna ride it for the rest of this video. We'll talk about it a little bit when we get back, but for the most part, it's gonna be all riding from here on out. All right, so to turn on your Model X for the very first time ever, if you did not get the extra motor and basket battery, then don't even worry about all this right now. All you would have to do is turn that little switch on. That means your battery is giving power to the controller and the rear motor. If you want to use the front motor, if you upgrade to this turbo motor that's in the front, so now you have two motors front and back, there's a switch up here on the basket. Turn that on, that activates this battery, and now you can turn on both displays up here, and you can have power on both of them. But you don't have to use both of them at the same time. But let's get on the bike and show you. So the first thing that we should do, get rid of that. Oh, I want to keep that so clean. This one's already coming off. All right, let's turn the bike on. We are good to go. So you guys know how I like to do my riding. I like to go to mode 5 right off the bat. All right, let's see how fast we can get on this bike in mode 5. We're just using one throttle, which is the rear motor. And the rear motor throttle is on the left-hand side, which is not the standard on most of the electric bikes. They're normally on the right side. But we got the right side for the front, but we're not turning that on yet. And it's saying it's pretty windy, but we're getting about 25 miles per hour, and I'm not pedaling whatsoever. I could pedal if you want to. So pedal assist is off, and to turn pedal assist on, you have to hold this down button on the display, and now pedal assist is activated. So now you don't have to use the throttle at all if you don't want to. And then if you go up in the modes 1 through 5, that's gonna be how fast the motor kicks in and how high your top speed is. So like right now we're doing 25 just pedaling, not too bad. Take it. 26. I think we picked a bad time to come out here, guys. School just got out, there's tons of people on the road. So I'm gonna turn pedal assist off because I'm not planning on using it, but it works very nice. What I wanna do is I wanna turn on this extra motor. So I have the extra motor turned on, not using it yet. I'm gonna pull off to the side and we're gonna see how fast this thing is. All right, so we wanna make sure that on this, you also need to turn this up to 5 if you want the max speed possible. So you have to do it on both displays. So we got 5 on here and then we got 5 on here. And let's just see how this thing is from a stop. I'm very, very curious. Let's see. Oh, dang, this thing peels out. Oh my God. Dude, this thing is a monster. Wow, that thing took off. We're doing 29.7, basically 30 miles per hour. Wow, that acceleration was faster than my Super 73 RX. Like stock anyways. Are you guys seeing this acceleration? Like, hold up. Let me start all over right here and get this acceleration for you guys. Pay attention to how fast we are moving on this bike. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. 20. Wow. Oh my God. This thing is awesome. This is like the Cadillac of beach cruiser bikes, but it has the power of a really expensive bike. Wow. Now the front upgraded motor, that does cost you a pretty penny. I think it's about $1,000 extra if you want to get that. And I would say I would recommend it if you guys got a bunch of hills, you got a bunch of stuff that you guys got to climb. But if you guys normally have straightaway areas like I do, like this, you won't need the extra motor. But if you're an adrenaline junkie and you want to get places fast and you want to go, that is insane. That feels so badass. It almost feels like the aerial rider Grizzly in a way. I like it. I definitely like it. I think it's cool. Okay, later. So I wanted to come this way real quick because we got a dead end, and I really wanted to show you some other stuff on this bike. Go bike, go! God, man, that brings a smile to my face. That thing is so powerful. All right, so a few things that I wanted to mention, and it's the fact that I mentioned it in my other video when I did the electric bike company about the kickstand. The kickstand's not bad, it looks great, but here's the thing. The kickstand is so long that, look, like I'm standing the bike straight up. I actually have to tilt it more of an angle this way just to be able to get this to clear the ground, and then it goes. But if I have the bike straight up, it will literally hit, so you have to literally turn it that way and put it down. Another thing that you guys will probably never notice, and maybe it's not a big deal to you, but it is to me, because sometimes I back my bikes up in my garage. But look, check this out. So we're moving the bike back, and it's going, and it stops. And that's because the way this kickstand is put in place, the crank arms hit it. So if I get this out of the way really quick, you'll see that when I actually got the bike, it was already kind of damaged, and that's just because this has been hitting it, I guess, in shipment or something like that. But I made it even worse by moving my bike around, and I forgot that this kickstand gets in the way. So if that's something that might bother you, you might have some marks on your kickstand over time if you're not careful. But it's not a deal breaker. It's just, you know, something that's an oversight, I guess. Another thing this battery has that I didn't show in the beginning is that it does have a little button on this side. So if you do want to hit this button, it will tell you your battery on where it's at. If it's in the red and there's no green bars, then it means you're almost down. But so far we're good. The bike starts at 54 volts and it can go down to 40 volts. And that'll tell you kind of where you're at. You also have a battery indicator over here. You have a battery indicator over here. This battery indicator on this one is for the battery that's on the bike. And then this battery indicator is gonna be for the basket battery. So just keep that in mind if you do have the similar setup. Another thing you could do on this bike, the suspension, if you get the adjustable suspension, is you can lock out the suspension so it doesn't move up and down, which I don't know why you'd want to. I would just leave it. And then you also have your preload setting on this side. If you want to adjust that, I just leave it on the setting that it was already on, and we're good to go. Check this out, guys. Hold up. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh man, that's cool, man. The only other bike that ever did a burnout for me was the Aerial Rider Grizzly, and electric bike company. That's so crazy that this bike peels out, and you would never think about it. Like if you literally like step back and look at the bike, like it doesn't look like it would ever peel out or be that fast of a bike. This bike looks like it would just do 20 miles an hour all day long and it'd be like a sleeper cruiser. But with this extra motor and power we have, this bike is insane. So the bike felt comfortable on the road, but I really want to see how it does off-roading. So let's take it off here and let's hope we don't get a flat. We do got the Continental tires on here. That's an upgrade from factory, and they're better at puncture resistance. Still gotta be careful. It's not gonna deflect everything out there. So oh, woo, that was a big pothole. I mean, it took the pothole, but I definitely had to prepare for it. The only thing I'm noticing is that the basket does have a lot of rattle to it with that extra battery being in there. I don't know, if you're not liking the extra noise in there, then you might have to secure that battery a different way, maybe put some stuff on it, or maybe I just have to check the bolts and make sure that it is bolted down and they're good enough. But that's the only thing I'm hearing from the bike. Nothing else is making a single noise, and it is insanely comfortable out here, which is not even supposed to be in the dirt. Not supposed to pass there, sir. Double yellow. So right now, I'm just using the front motor. And since this display, we're not using it, it's not gonna show our mile per hour. But on here, it's saying we're doing 26 miles per hour on this secondary display. 27 now. I'm gonna slow down so this truck doesn't end up hitting me, because he might not be paying attention. Okay, cool. Thanks. One cool thing about this display that I didn't even mention is that it does tell you how hot it is outside, and it's 95. It's pretty hot out here, guys, so hopefully you guys appreciate these videos, because I'm sweating under this full face helmet. So, oh my God, we're hitting over 30. Wow, I just activated the rear motor after using the front one, and now we're pushing over 30, and you can definitely feel the extra power come in. the bike just wants to keep you going. Any little bump, it will just keep moving. Now let's, I've been using the brakes a lot and they felt great, but now let's really test out the brakes. So right when we hit this road closed ahead sign, I'm gonna hit the brakes. I'm gonna let off the throttle though. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Yeah. That's how you really break in those brakes right there. That felt really good. That actually stopped better than some of the electric bikes that I've got from other companies or even bought myself. That felt really good. No complaints there whatsoever. Want to pill out? Man, you instantly just feel that torque. It feels really good. That'll get you in and out of some sticky situations. Yeah, I'm loving this thing, guys. The voltage sag is so low, it's maybe like 3 volts, if that, 2 or 3 volts. It says we're pushing about 520 watts right now as we're moving, using both throttles, now 400 watts. Those brakes feel like really sticky now that we slammed on them earlier. Yeah, this thing is moving. So with both battery setups that we have on this bike, it says we're getting about 30 amp hours in total, and it says we can get up to 160 miles of range. Now, 160 miles of range, I can see it being possible if you were in like mode 1 and you're using 1 battery at a time and you're going like 6 miles an hour, maybe 9 miles an hour. But when you're pushing how I ride and I'm doing maxed out all the time, I can see a legit 40 to 50 miles. But I don't see 160 unless I was like babying it or something. So comfort on this bike, I think adding the seat suspension along with their very comfortable seat that they already include in their bikes, and I just lost my piece of paper out of the basket that I wanted to put back on the display. Oh man, I gotta go back and get that. All right, so where were we? Oh yeah, the seat. So I do think it is very nice that I did get the adjustable seat. Electric bike company seat is already comfortable enough, but having that extra seat post suspension is pretty nice. I did not know they ever made anything like that. I've been out of like regular bikes for a pretty long time and got into electric bikes, and I've never seen a company put an adjustable seat post that has suspension. It's weird. And then obviously having the suspension in the front, the other electric bike that I got, the Model E for everybody, that one didn't have suspension in the front, and it was cool, but when you really hit a pothole, it hurt. It really hurt. I don't feel anything in this thing, and I have a bad back, just so you guys know. I'm 35 years old. I'm not very young. I've had a lot of back problems, so suspension is kind of a must for me on bikes. And they did a great job. I think the suspension is great. It's not the best I've ever been on. My Sur-Ron bike that I have, obviously it's a dirt bike. It's made to like do jumps and stuff like that. It does feel better, but yeah, this one does feel great. I need to get in some shade. It is hot, boys. Very hot. But overall, this bike is legit. It's nice. When you hit the brakes, there's a little symbol that pops up that I don't think I mentioned, which is kind of cool. It tells you your miles. It tells you your odometer that you did on this trip without turning the display off, and it also tells you the time. So we've been riding for 29 minutes. And my biggest feature that I like on bikes like this is that it tells you your wattage, which we were talking about earlier. I love knowing how much power is coming out of the bike as I'm riding it. And like I said, the only issue I'm having with it, and I think it's because this came loose. If you guys can see, this little basket lip came loose. And then the kickstand. That's the only thing that makes this bike look kind of ugly, because I've already scratched it, and this bike is like mint condition. You know, I got it painted to match exactly how I wanted it. Now, the only thing that would be cool that if electric bike could do it is maybe they had these in colors. So maybe you can have a black one, but if you want to pay extra, they can color like the outside of this lid, like maybe not the base, or maybe the base, I don't know. But it'd be cool if you were able to color the actual battery to match the bike, or maybe I would have done a red battery to match the red rims. But overall, bike's good. Let's get back to the house, and I'll explain how much this bike is and how much a regular one costs. See, look, you got to get across a busy street like this. Look at this. Whee! These Continental tires grip too, boy. All right, guys, so what can I say overall about the Model X? The Model X, it's perfect. I know you guys are probably gonna think I'm gonna say that because the company sent it to me, but no, it's because I got to customize this bike myself. Now, this bike in this setup was $5,500, and I know that sounds like a lot. Trust me, I don't even have that type of money. But the reason why it's so expensive is because I put an extra battery up in the basket, and the batteries are honestly one of the most expensive things for electric bikes. If you didn't opt to get the battery and you didn't opt to get the front power system so you have dual motors, it'd be a lot cheaper. I think the bike starts at $2,000, and then you can add little stuff on, like you can put the adjustable seat post on here that has suspension in it. You can put the bike rack, you can put the alarm system, you can do all that stuff. So it doesn't have to be $5,500. But the reason why this bike is perfect, like I said, is because I customize it on the website, which you guys can do the same thing. All you have to do is go to electricbikecompany.com, go to the website, brings down a drop list on customizing your bike. I put a color on this bike. It's cobalt metallic. I love it. It's one of my favorite colors. And then we did red rims. We did the Continental tires. We did the basket. We did the battery in the basket. We did the extra motor. We did a rear rack. And we color matched everything. The fenders are color matched to the bike. I mean, it's perfect. So there's nothing else I could say because this is a custom one-off bike that's mine. If you guys want to save some money, you guys can use code MrCentralDriver. I'll put it in the video right now and in the description so you guys can check it out. And you guys can save yourself some money on these bikes. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Woo! Oh yeah, that's fun.